But you know, we are literally the other side of the border. We actually have a 02 telephone number, so we kind of in Cork. But we do have all the mod conference facilities, so please consider us for all those small high-level board meetings that you might have. It's a stunning location, give your team an inspirational location to get away from it all. Yet we're only, as I said, about an hour away from Cork. So please consider us. Obviously, you're more than welcome on a more personal basis to come and stay with your partners and enjoy a nice leisure break. But we would like to see a little bit more of conference and meeting business. I've left some brochures on the table outside if you want to pick them up and check our website out for the deals that we're offering, or please feel free to contact me directly. I'm happy to deal with you personally, and I look forward to welcoming you. Contrary to published reports, Beyonce has not stayed in the cliff, but she's more than welcome, as you all are. Thank you.
Well done, Adrian. Our main speaker this morning is Paul Campbell, and you may have, I think when I was chatting with Paul earlier on, we were going through his biography. I said, that's a little stilted and slanted towards a business career. And he said, well, most people have probably read that part at this stage, but I'll go through the formal part of it in terms of Paul is PepsiCo Ireland's General Manager and Regional Vice President of Operations, responsible for Pepsi's 2 manufacturing sites here in Cork and one in Puerto Rico. But far more important is that he's a Liverpool supporter. That didn't go down too well, Paul. He's from Liverpool originally. He did say there are 2 big loves in his life, Liverpool and his family. He did mention them in that order, I have to say. He can explain that to his wife afterwards, I think. He is a firm believer that Benitez should stay. But then again, I'm a United supporter, so maybe he should stay. And that he also misses Alonso. So I think he's probably right in that. He's age 43, and there's a bit of work to extract that part from him, I have to say. He's married with 4 daughters. And the interesting part of it, I said, and what age are your daughters? Well, the first 3 are 14. So I said, oh my God. and the youngest is 4. So we then, like all fathers, you then talk about your youngest daughter who has wrapped around your little finger and who runs the household. And the only solace I got is that his household is as bad as my own household. So he's a graduate of Nottingham University. He's an engineer, and I did remind him that all my friends who are engineers start out with the words that I'm not an engineer, but, right? And when that happens, there's a slap coming somewhere after that. So he's in his present role 18 months. And he's going to share his thoughts today with us in relation to working for a global business and what it means for the people, which is obviously very important. We were talking about that earlier on. And he's going to be looking at how to leverage the benefits that come with working for a global organisation while engaging a local workforce so that they feel they make a difference. So Paul, over to you.
Morning everybody, welcome, beautiful morning in Cork City, which is great, and great location as well. So as Joe says, thank you for the introduction. I'm going to talk around what it's like to work for a global business, but how do you make it locally relevant for the people? And I hope the messages are as relevant for small businesses as large businesses, because what's critical is how do we get the best out of the people that look to us for leadership and guidance, and look for us for employment as employers, because that's the best way we can drive our businesses forward. So I hope the message is relevant for the whole audience. Before I kick off though, I was just reflecting on Joe's comments around Lisbon, and I hope you notice on the little forms there is only 1 box to tick. So I think you know what he'd like the answer to be. Right, so engaging a local workforce in global business is what I'm going to talk about. Or, I think much more importantly, how do we turn it from their business, as a frontline employee, there being us as leaders and managers, into our business? So making people feel that the business that they work for is their business. It's not somebody else's, it's not management's, it's a business that we all want to work for and drive forward. So that's what I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to just introduce you a little bit to PepsiCo. I've been with PepsiCo for about 13, 14 years now, But just some vital statistics up there on the PepsiCo organisation worldwide. We're a global convenience food business, both beverages and food. People think Pepsi and they just think, the carbonated cola. We're the biggest snack food business in the world, and actually we make more of our money out of food than we do out of beverage. But you can see the size of the business there. 246 billion servings a year. So that's one serving would be a can or a bottle of Pepsi. And food, 134 billion, and that would be a packet of crisps or a breakfast cereal. We truly scan the globe with a physical presence in more than 200 countries, and employees just shy of 200,000. And then we have a series of owned plants and franchise plants. Franchise would be people that effectively we have long-term agreements with who will bottle our product for us globally on a beverage basis. So a global business, very clearly. And then how does that relate to our performance? Well, I guess we all know it's tough at the moment, tough economic climate. But PepsiCo has continued to perform very strongly. So 2009 to 2008, our net revenue was up 10%, our profit up 6%, and our EPS 9%. On the right-hand side, you can see the power of some of the brands we've got, and that's a real fortunate position we have. We're a business that has some incredibly strong brands that span the globe. And the brands are very relevant to our consumers and therefore also to our employees. The reason for putting up this chart is nothing more than just highlighting that performance is critical to our business. It's that grows our business, and in fact, for the last 5 years we've been growing at about 10% a year in terms of revenue. So a very, very strong top-line business, which puts us in a great place to then fund the activities we want to as an organisation, but gives us a great platform to build on. But what does that mean for the business in Ireland? Well, the business in Ireland is primarily a beverage business, so we make the heart of our beverage business and ship that around the world. And that beverage business is run from Ireland. About two and a half years ago, we moved the centre of that business, which is called PepsiCo Worldwide Flavours, from Valhalla in New York to Cork. The operation, as you can see, that we're responsible for in Ireland spans the globe, rather than it just works for the local market. So you can see the spread of plants around the world and the geographies that we cover. And my personal responsibility for the 2 plants in Ireland and the Puerto Rican plant. And just to give you a sense, those 2 plants provide Pepsi for the whole of North America, Gatorade for the whole of North America, Pepsi for everywhere in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia, except for China and India and Pakistan. So the reach of the business within Cork is significant. And clearly that plays out for the people that we work with in Cork. And just a brief history. Dennis talked about IBM. We don't quite have the tenure of IBM in Ireland, but we've been in Ireland for 35 years. This is our 35th year. And if you just look at the bottom of that chart, it just talks through our growth of people. So back in 2001, we were about 150, 160 people, and we're bouncing up at 500 now. So continued growth over the last sort of decade. And that's a combination of skilled, semi-skilled and craft. So we've grown at all levels in terms of people, and actually have a relatively small expat population. There's a lot of our growth is through local people rather than imports. So significant growth, and that is only deemed to continue into the future. So we do have a very bright future, which is great for our people. And really that just sets the scene for PepsiCo in Ireland and gives you a sense of the business that I work for. But if you translate that into the organisation and the people that look to us for leadership, what does it mean for us and how we set the framework for people? I guess the one thing I wanted to put up first was what does PepsiCo think about this? And we're a very values-driven organisation. And we have a very clear commitment, which is that we will deliver sustained growth, and that's sustained from a business perspective, but also sustained from an environmental